The arrival of the Vori diplomatic vessel was supposed to be a calm and peaceful event, nothing more than an exchange of greetings and a few scientific discussions. At least, that was what everyone on Earth believed. The humans prepared a small welcome team, set up bright landing lights on the platform, and waited for the elegant silver ship to touch down. There were no expectations, no rumors, and no special excitement, just polite curiosity about meeting their new alien friends again. Among the crowd stood a young woman named Luna Hale, a student of xenobiology who had been invited as a volunteer assistant. Luna was not a famous scientist or a trained diplomat. She simply had a warm personality and a soft way of speaking that made others feel safe. She loved animals, studied them with great care, and always paid attention to small details that others often missed. When her professor asked her to help during the visit, she said yes with genuine excitement. The air grew quiet as the Vori ship landed. Its surface glowed in soft pastel colors, shifting gently like moving water. From the ship emerged 3 Vori ambassadors. They were tall, graceful beings with smooth skin that shimmered faintly under sunlight. Their eyes were calm and thoughtful, giving the impression that they noticed every feeling around them. The lead ambassador, Averin, stepped forward. He held a small crystal tablet that displayed human greetings in glowing letters. His voice was melodic as he spoke. "People of Earth, we greet you once again. Today, we present a special gift. It is not a grand tool or rare mineral. It is a living being that we believe will find comfort only among you." The human group exchanged surprised glances. A gift? A living being? This was unexpected. Even the officials in charge seemed unsure how to react. But Averin lifted one hand, signaling that the surprise was intentional and peaceful. Behind the ambassadors rolled a floating cradle shaped like a smooth white capsule. Soft orange light shined gently from within it. The cradle stopped in front of the humans, and the light faded just enough for everyone to see what rested inside. It was a small creature, thin, trembling, and curled up as if tired from a long journey. Its fur was dark and silky, patterned with faint silver stripes. Large golden eyes blinked weakly, observing the world with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Its ears were rounded and expressive, and its long tail flicked gently, despite its exhaustion. The creature looked like a mix between a feline and a gentle forest predator, elegant even in its weakened state. Luna felt her heart squeeze. There was something fragile yet intelligent about the little being. Averin spoke again, his tone softer. "This is a young Rivari. Our people consider the Rivari a noble species, known for strength and sharp instinct. But this one is sick, with an illness we cannot treat. Our medicine fails because the Rivari rejects healing unless it forms a deep emotional bond with a caretaker. The bond must be natural and honest. So far, no Vori has been able to create such a bond with this young one." Humans listened in quiet fascination. A creature that needed emotional trust to survive? It sounded impossible, yet strangely beautiful. Averin continued, "We have studied humans for some time. We believe your species has a remarkable gift. Your empathy affects other beings in a unique way. When we scanned the Rivari's reactions to several human volunteers, one person stood out." Averin's eyes slowly turned toward Luna. She froze. Her professor blinked in confusion. A few diplomats tilted their heads. "Miss Luna Hale," Averin said gently. "The Rivari responded to your presence, even from across the room. It showed lower stress levels and a slight increase in energy. This has never happened with any other caretaker. Therefore, we wish to give this Rivari to you. We believe only you can help it survive." Luna swallowed. She had not expected anything like this. She had simply come to help with equipment and translation. Now, an alien ambassador was handing her a rare, delicate creature that depended on her compassion to live. I don't know what to say," she whispered. Averin bowed his head slightly. "You need not say anything yet. Merely approach the Rivari." Luna stepped forward slowly, her hands calm at her sides. The creature lifted its head weakly, eyes shining like twin suns. It sniffed the air gently, then let out a tiny, raspy sound almost like a soft mew mixed with a chirp. Luna crouched near the cradle and offered her hand, palm open. She did not touch the creature. She simply allowed it to decide. After a few seconds, the Rivari leaned its head forward and brushed its forehead lightly against her fingers. The moment was tender and unexpectedly moving. The diplomats behind Luna gasped quietly. Even Averin's calm expression brightened. "It chooses you," he said. Luna felt warmth spread through her chest. The Rivari's fur, though fragile, felt soft and comforting. She could sense its fear, but also its trust. It was as if it understood she meant no harm. What is its name?" she asked softly. "The Rivari name is difficult to speak in your language," Averin answered. "But you may give it a name of your choosing. A name from the heart may strengthen its recovery." Luna looked into those golden eyes again and smiled gently. "Then I'll call you Soul. Like the sun. Because you deserve warmth and light." The creature let out a very soft, purr-like vibration, and the cradle's sensors flickered with gentle green lights. This sign, the Vori explained, meant the creature felt safe. As officials prepared medical scanners and support equipment, Luna remained close to Soul. She listened carefully as Averin explained the situation in more detail. "The Rivari species," he said, "were not fierce monsters or uncontrollable predators. Those were myths people created long ago. Instead, Rivari were highly intuitive, emotionally sensitive creatures. They could sense intentions, moods, and even health conditions through subtle energy patterns. When ill, they required a deep bond with a caretaker to trigger their natural healing response. The Vori had tried everything. They provided comfort, gentle environments, and expert care, yet the young Rivari never formed the needed bond with them. But Sol responded to Luna almost instantly. Some humans wondered if it was luck. Others believed humans had a natural ability that even they did not fully understand. Luna didn't care about theories. All she knew was that Sol needed help, and she wanted to provide it. When the diplomats finished the initial medical scan, Luna and Sol were escorted to a quiet observation room. It had soft lighting, simple furniture, and a special resting cushion placed on the floor. Sol was moved from the cradle onto the cushion, where it curled up but kept its eyes on Luna. A medical researcher named Dr. Keaton adjusted her tablet. "Miss Hale, we'd like you to stay close to Sol for a while. Our readings show it becomes calmer when you're in the room." "Of course," Luna said. She sat beside the cushion, cross-legged. Sol watched her closely, then slowly extended one paw toward her. She held her hand near it, and Sol rested its paw on her fingers. The touch was light and gentle, barely a weight at all, but it felt like a silent connection forming. Hours passed quietly. Luna talked in a soft voice, telling Sol simple stories about Earth's sunrise over the ocean, warm cups of tea, the sounds of rain on a small window. She was not sure if Sol understood the words, but the creature listened with steady attention, its breathing slow and peaceful. From behind a glass observation panel, the Vori ambassadors watched with deep interest. Averin exchanged a quiet thought signal with the others, a form of communication humans could not hear. "She may be the key," Averin said. "We believed humans had strong emotional fields. But this is remarkable." A second ambassador nodded. "If this bond continues to grow, it will prove humans possess a trait that many species evolved past or lost completely, the ability to heal through connection." The day grew late. Luna finally leaned back against the wall, tired but content. Sol shifted closer, curled beside her leg, and rested its head gently on her knee. The simple trust in that gesture made Luna smile softly. "You're safe," she whispered. "I'll take care of you. I promise." Sol's tail curled in a relaxed arc. Its breathing grew steady and warm. Outside the room, a few scientists scribbled notes, and the Vori exchanged thoughtful glances. None of them had expected this outcome. They had hoped. Yes, but hope was different from witnessing the impossible become real. Luna had no idea that her small act of kindness would soon change how multiple species viewed humanity. She had no idea that Sol's gentle trust would uncover abilities hidden in humans for centuries. All she knew was that a fragile creature needed her, and she was ready to help. And as the final lights dimmed for the evening, the quiet room held a peaceful moment shared between girl and Rivari, a moment that would grow into something far greater than anyone expected. The next morning began softly, with warm sunlight slipping through the high windows of the observation room. Luna woke up slowly, realizing she had fallen asleep sitting against the wall. Her neck was a little stiff, but she didn't mind. The first thing she did was look for Sol. The young Rivari was still resting beside her. Its small body rose and fell gently with each breath, and its golden eyes opened the moment it sensed Luna moving. Sol let out a soft, warm sound, something like a purr mixed with a gentle hum. It wasn't loud, but it carried a peaceful feeling that made Luna's tiredness fade. "Good morning, Sol," she whispered with a smile. Sol crawled a little closer and touched her hand with its nose. The simple gesture felt like a greeting, one filled with quiet trust. Luna stroked the fur behind its ear, surprised by how much softer and warmer it felt compared to yesterday. It was a good sign, a hopeful sign. A few minutes later, the door slid open, and Dr. Keaton entered with her tablet. "Morning, Luna. How is our little guest today?" Luna smiled. "Better, I think. He feels warmer, and he stayed close all night." Dr. Keaton observed Sol carefully. His energy readings improved. He still needs rest, but something is definitely changing. Sol lifted his head and watched her calmly, but he didn't show fear. This, too, was unusual. The Rivari normally reacted to strangers with sharp, defensive behavior, but Sol behaved differently now, more relaxed, more curious. Dr. Keaton made a note, then looked at Luna. "We'd like to run a few tests, but only if Sol allows it. We don't want to stress him." Luna nodded. "I'll stay with him." As the tests began, Luna sat beside Sol, softly talking to him while gentle scanners passed above his body. Whenever Sol seemed unsure, Luna rested her hand near him. Not for control, just for comfort. Sol always responded by calming down, trusting her presence. Even the scientists watching from behind the glass seemed surprised. One of them whispered, "This level of trust is impossible for a young Rivari. They don't bond this quickly, not even with their own caretakers." Another replied, "It's her influence. Luna's emotional field must be interacting with Sol's instincts in a way we've never seen." Luna did not hear those comments. She focused only on Sol, wanting him to feel safe. When the scans finished, the scientist nodded approvingly. "His condition is stabilizing," Dr. Keaton said. "Still weak, but stable." Luna gently stroked the top of Sol's head. "See? You're doing strong work, Sol." Sol blinked slowly, as if proud of himself. A strange reaction. Later that afternoon, Averin and 2 other Vori ambassadors visited the room. The moment Sol saw them, he stiffened slightly, his ears tilting back. He didn't grow defensive, but he clearly preferred staying close to Luna. Averin noticed this immediately. "It appears the bond grows deeper by the hour," he said quietly. Luna looked uncertain. "Is that normal? For humans?" Averin replied. "We are beginning to believe it may be. For the Rivari? No. It is rare even among our people." He stepped closer, but not too close. The Vori moved with respectful patience, careful not to startle Sol. "May I observe the young one from a short distance?" "Yes, of course," Luna answered. Sol stayed beside her, but his body relaxed slowly when he sensed that Averin held no harmful intent. Still, he pressed one paw lightly against Luna's leg, as if making sure she was there. Averin studied the scene with thoughtful eyes. "This reaction is remarkable. The Rivari is responding not simply to your presence, but to your emotional balance. Your calmness transfers to him." Luna blinked. "I'm not doing anything special. I'm only trying to help. Sometimes the simplest actions create the strongest effects," Averin said softly. He exchanged glances with the other ambassadors, and they spoke briefly in their gentle, melodic language. Then Averin turned back to Luna. "We would like to perform a controlled experiment," he said. Nothing harmful. We simply wish to place a small energy meter near your hand and see if it reacts when you touch the Rivari. Luna hesitated. Will it bother him? No, Averin said kindly. It only measures emotional resonance. It does not touch him, Luna agreed. A small device was brought into the room. She placed her hand on Sol's back, letting her fingers move slowly through his soft fur. Sol leaned into the touch. Relaxed and content, the device beeped softly. A faint glow appeared on its display, a warm, pulsing light that matched the rhythm of Luna's breathing. The Vori watched in amazement. One ambassador whispered, "Her emotional signature stabilizes his energy. This explains why he is recovering faster than expected." Another added, "Humans, they truly are unique." Luna didn't fully understand what they meant, but she felt a gentle pride. Not for herself, but for Sol's progress. Learning each other. Over the next few days, Luna and Sol spent many hours together. She taught him simple routines: how to drink water from a shallow bowl, how to rest on his warming cushion, how to respond calmly to gentle touch. Sol learned quickly. Rivari were highly intelligent, and even in his weak state, he observed everything with careful curiosity. Sometimes, Luna would place small toys on the floor: a soft ball, a little ring, a feather-like sensor. At first, Sol only watched, but slowly, he began tapping them with his paws, testing their movement. Luna smiled every time he tried something new. One afternoon, she laughed softly as Sol attempted to bat the ball toward her, but ended up rolling onto his side with unexpected clumsiness. Sol stared at her, blinking as if surprised by his own movement. "It's okay," Luna said gently, laughing again. "You're still learning," Sol replied with a tiny, almost shy chirp. From behind the observation window, scientists watched with fascination. "He is behaving like a juvenile Rivari in the early bonding stage," one scientist said. "But he should not be in that stage with a human," another added. "And yet he is," Averin said with quiet wonder. The connection was undeniable now. A small scare, but not everything went smoothly. One evening, while Luna was helping Sol stretch his front legs, the Rivari suddenly tensed. His body shivered, and he let out a soft, troubled sound. "Sol? What's wrong?" Luna asked, concern filling her voice. Sol lowered himself onto the floor, eyes half closed. His breathing grew uneven. Dr. Keaton rushed into the room. "His energy levels are dropping again," she said. "We need to calm him quickly." Luna didn't wait for instructions. She sat down beside Sol and placed her hands gently around him, not squeezing, just supporting. She whispered to him in a soft tone, "It's okay, Sol. I'm here. Breathe with me. You're safe." Sol's trembling slowly eased. His breathing matched Luna's rhythm. Little by little, the sensors monitoring him flickered from warning red to gentle yellow, then finally back to green. A wave of relief washed over the room. Averin exhaled softly. Her presence corrected the imbalance almost instantly. Dr. Keaton nodded in amazement. It's as if Luna's emotional field reinforces his stability. Luna didn't think in scientific terms. She only cared that Sol was feeling better. She stroked his head gently, whispering comforting words until he fell asleep again. Growing understanding. Over the next days, Sol began to show new behaviors never before recorded in Rivari juveniles. If Luna spoke in a calm tone, Sol responded with cheerful chirps. If Luna frowned with worry, Sol nudged her hand gently as if checking on her. When Luna walked across the room, Sol tried sometimes awkwardly to follow. He watched her closely, learning her expressions, her voice patterns, and even her moments of silence. Averin observed one of these moments and spoke quietly to Dr. Keaton. "This is deeper than emotional resonance. It is mutual understanding." Dr. Keaton folded her arms thoughtfully. "We might be witnessing a new form of interspecies communication." Luna, sitting on the floor and gently brushing Sol's fur, looked up with a soft smile. "He's smart," she said. "He understands more than we think." Sol lifted his head proudly at her words, a moment that changed everything. One final test was arranged, a simple one. Luna would leave the room for 2 minutes to see if Sol's readings changed. She hesitated but agreed for the sake of science. The moment she stepped outside, Sol's ears lowered. His golden eyes scanned the room anxiously. His energy levels dipped slightly, but then something unexpected happened. Sol walked to the door, sat in front of it, and pressed his forehead gently against the smooth surface, as if calling for Luna. When Luna returned 2 minutes later, Sol rushed toward her with surprising strength and pressed himself lightly against her leg, as if relieved she had come back. The device monitoring him lit up with a bright, stable glow. Averin whispered to the others, "The bond is now complete." Luna knelt down, hugging Sol gently. "I'm here," she said softly. "I won't leave for long again." Sol nuzzled her hand, his tail curling gently. The Vori ambassadors watched with silent awe. "This," Averin said, "is something our people have never seen." The simple, warm connection between a human girl and a fragile Ravari was becoming something deeper. Something that would soon reveal abilities neither species knew existed. For several days, the research center felt calmer and brighter than usual. People walked through the halls with quiet excitement, and even the Vori ambassadors seemed more relaxed than before. Everyone sensed that something rare was happening inside Observation Room 4, where Luna and Sol spent most of their time. Sol's recovery continued at a steady pace. His fur grew shinier, his eyes brighter, and his movements stronger. He began lifting his paws higher, stretching longer, and even jumping small distances. At times, Luna felt as if he was trying to show off for her, proud of his progress. "You're improving fast," Luna said one morning as Sol hopped onto a low cushion. "Soon you'll be running around the whole room." Sol replied with a happy chirp, his tail curling gently in the air. But beyond simple recovery, something else was happening, something deeper. Whenever Luna entered the room, the air felt warmer and softer. The machines that monitored Sol always reacted to her presence with a gentle rise in energy waves. Even the Vori researchers noticed unusual readings whenever Luna and Sol interacted. One afternoon, Averin entered the observation room with a thoughtful expression. He carried a small silver device shaped like a flower. Its petals glowed softly with blue light. "Luna," he said kindly, "may I borrow your time for a simple test?" Luna nodded. "Sure. What do you need me to do?" Averin placed the device on a stand near Sol. "This tool measures energy resonance in the atmosphere. If our theory is correct, the bond between you and Sol may be affecting the air around you." She blinked. "Affecting the air?" "Through emotional frequency," Averin explained gently. "Some species can naturally influence small energy fields with their feelings. But humans are not known for this ability." He paused, then added with calm seriousness, "Until now." Luna felt her heart beat a little faster, not from fear, but from curiosity. "What do I do?" she asked. "Simply sit beside Sol and place your hand on him, as you often do." Luna moved closer to Sol. The Ravari immediately leaned into her touch, letting out a soft, warm purr. Luna smiled, stroking him gently. The device reacted instantly. Its blue light brightened, then shifted into a soft gold glow that pulsed with slow, steady rhythm. The petals widened, as if blooming. Averin exhaled in amazement. "Remarkable." Luna looked at him with confusion. "Is that good?" "It is more than good," Averin said with sincere wonder. "This reaction happens only when two beings share a rare emotional harmony. You are not simply comforting Sol. You are stabilizing his entire energy system." Sol lifted his head proudly, pressing his cheek against Luna's hand. "He trusts you completely," Averin said. Luna looked at Sol lovingly. "I trust him too." An unexpected shift. Later that evening, something unusual happened. Luna was sitting on the floor, reading a digital book, while Sol napped beside her. The room was quiet, peaceful. A gentle hum sounded from the machine in the corner, showing stable readings. Then, without warning, Sol's body gave a light shiver. His fur glowed faintly, not bright, but enough for Luna to notice a silver shimmer. She dropped her book. "Sol?" Sol opened his eyes, blinking slowly. A soft ring of light formed around his pupils, shifting like ripples in water. Luna gasped softly. "Dr. Keaton," she called. The door opened quickly as Dr. Keaton entered with two assistants. They froze when they saw the light surrounding Sol. "What is this?" Luna asked anxiously. Dr. Keaton moved cautiously toward the creature. "This might be the Rivari energy surge, but it's far too early for one. This usually happens only after deep healing has completed." Sol stood up slowly. He looked at Luna, then took a few steps forward. His body gave off a faint warmth, not burning, just comforting. The lights in the room flickered gently. Averin rushed in moments later. "Is it happening already?" Dr. Keaton nodded. "Yes, earlier than expected." Averin turned to Luna. "Stay beside him. Your presence is important." She knelt down beside Sol. "It's okay, Sol. I'm here." Sol responded by placing his forehead against her hand. The light around him softened instantly. The machines that had begun buzzing with surprise returned to calm, steady rhythm. The Vori ambassadors stared in silent awe. "This young Rivari is awakening," Averin whispered. "And she is guiding him." The story behind the Rivari. When Sol settled again, Averin asked if he could explain something important. Luna sat with Sol curled against her legs, listening carefully. "Long ago," Averin began, "the Rivari were considered guardians on our homeworld. Not guardians of battle, but guardians of emotional balance. Their presence brought calmness, clarity, and harmony. Their gift was not strength of body, but strength of heart." Luna looked down at Sol lovingly. "He feels gentle. I always sensed that." Averin nodded. "That is because he chooses who he opens himself to. Rivari cannot heal unless they feel safe with another being. For centuries, they formed bonds only with Vori caretakers. But even among our people, such a connection was rare. And now Sol is bonding with me," Luna said softly. "Not just bonding," Averin corrected. "He is awakening because of you. The Rivari awaken their deeper abilities only when they find a true partner." Luna blinked. "Partner? Like a friend?" "More than a friend," Averin said with slow seriousness. "A heart companion. Someone whose emotional frequency matches theirs." Luna felt both honored and surprised. "But I didn't do anything special," she said. Averin smiled gently. "Sometimes, doing nothing but being kind is the most special thing of all." Sol chirped softly, pressing his face against her arm. "A hidden trait of humans." Dr. Keaton joined the conversation. "Averin, you mentioned emotional frequency. We've seen signs of it in Luna. Does this mean humans have the same gift as the Vori?" Averin looked thoughtful. "Perhaps humans had it long ago. Perhaps they forgot. Or perhaps your species hides abilities you have never learned to use." Luna felt a strange warmth spread through her chest. She wasn't a scientist, or a famous hero. She was just a student who loved animals. Yet here she was, influencing an alien species without even trying. Dr. Keaton turned to Luna. "You might be the first human to show this ability." Luna looked down at Sol. "I don't think it's just me. I think Sol brought it out." Sol responded with a soft hum, as if confirming her words. The resonance test. Later that night, Averin asked for one more experiment, only if Luna felt comfortable. "We want to see if your emotional energy responds to Sol's," Averin explained. "We believe the bond goes both ways." Luna nodded. "I'll do my best." The lights were dimmed. Sol sat in front of Luna, watching her with steady golden eyes. Averin placed the glowing flower device between them. "Now," he said gently, "both of you breathe slowly. Just relax. Do not force anything." Luna inhaled softly. Sol matched her breath almost instantly. A quiet harmony filled the air. The device glowed faint blue. Then it turned pale gold. Then, something incredible happened. A soft circle of light expanded from Sol, reaching toward Luna like a gentle wave. When the light touched her, Luna felt a warm sensation, not heat, but comfort, like stepping into sunlight after a cold day. The device's petals opened fully, shining bright and stable. Averin whispered, "They are resonating. Humans can resonate." Dr. Keaton covered her mouth in astonishment. This is historic. Luna blinked, feeling a bit overwhelmed. Sol, did you do that? Sol chirped proudly and climbed onto her lap. She hugged him gently, smiling with relief. The device dimmed slowly as the resonance settled. Averin stepped forward with calm but deep emotion in his voice. Luna Hale, he said, you have awakened a gift long believed lost in the universe. The Rivari respond to your emotional frequency in a way never seen before. And Sol has awakened earlier because of you. There is something extraordinary within your species. Luna swallowed. I don't know what that means. Line, Averin smiled softly. It means the galaxy will soon see humans differently, a new beginning. Sol was stronger than ever. He had grown more confident, more expressive, and more connected to Luna than any Rivari had been to a Vori caretaker. But the true change wasn't just in Sol. It was in what the Vori had discovered. Humans carried a hidden emotional energy strong enough to affect other species. Dr. Keaton summarized it best. Luna, your bond with Sol may change interspecies science forever. Luna looked at Sol, who curled comfortably in her arms. I didn't set out to change anything, she said softly. I only wanted Sol to feel safe. Averin nodded, smiling gently. And that simple wish, he said, has awakened something powerful. Neither Luna nor Sol knew it yet, but their connection would soon shape the future of both species and reveal truths humanity never imagined. The days following Sol's awakening were filled with gentle excitement. Scientists from several departments requested permission to observe Luna and Sol, not out of fear or suspicion, but out of curiosity and admiration. The Vori ambassadors stayed close, taking careful notes and often sharing quiet conversations among themselves. Luna did her best to act normal, but even she could feel that something important was happening. Every time she walked through the research center, people paused and smiled at her. Some whispered polite greetings. Others simply nodded with respect. She was not used to this kind of attention. She remained focused on Sol. Sol had grown stronger and more energetic. He moved with grace, his fur shining with a healthy glow. His golden eyes sparkled with intelligence, and his tail swayed with confidence. He now walked around the observation room freely, exploring everything with gentle curiosity. Whenever Luna sat down, he returned to her side, curling up against her leg or resting his head on her hand. Their bond was now so natural that neither of them needed to think about it. One morning, as Luna placed a small bowl of warm nutrient mix in front of Sol, Averin entered the room with a thoughtful expression. Luna, he said softly, the Vori Council wishes to speak with you. Luna looked up in surprise. With me? Why? Averin folded his hands calmly. Your bond with Sol has shown the Council something they never believed possible. They want to thank you, and they want to understand how humans formed such a connection. Luna felt a little nervous, but Sol nudged her arm as if encouraging her. All right, she said with a small smile. I'll talk to them. A meeting of two worlds. The council meeting was held in a quiet conference room filled with soft blue lights. 3 Vori council members appeared on a large holographic display. Their voices were calm, almost musical, and their eyes showed true interest rather than judgment. Luna Hale, the main council member, began. We have watched your progress with the young Rivari named Sol. Your connection has revealed something rare. Luna held Sol gently in her arms. The Rivari sat calmly, observing the holograms with curiosity. The council member continued. Our species believed we were the only ones who could form deep emotional bonds, strong enough to support a Rivari's healing. But we were mistaken. You, a human, have shown abilities that even the Vori do not fully understand. Luna lowered her eyes modestly. I didn't know I had any special ability. I just wanted Sol to feel safe. And that desire, the council member said kindly, is what awakened his strength. Sol let out a soft purr, almost as if he was responding to the council directly. Another council member spoke. We wish to honor you and the human species. Your empathy is stronger than any we have studied. It may become a guiding light for future cooperation between our worlds. Luna felt warmth spread through her chest. She had never imagined such words would be spoken about humans. Growing up, she always felt that humanity was still trying to find its place among the stars. But now it seemed they had discovered a strength no one expected, Sol's new ability. After the council meeting, Luna and Sol returned to their observation room. But something unusual happened as soon as they entered. Sol lifted his head, ears twitching. His body gave off a faint glow, soft, silver, and warm. "Sol?" Luna asked gently. "What do you sense?" Sol walked to the center of the room and sat down. His eyes brightened. For a moment, he seemed focused, almost like he was listening to something only he could hear. The lights flickered. A soft wave of shimmering energy spread outward from Sol, filling the room like a warm breeze. It wasn't bright or strong, just peaceful. Luna felt the energy touch her, like warm sunlight wrapping around her shoulders. The door opened, and Dr. Keaton stepped inside. She stopped instantly when she saw the glowing air. "What in the world?" she whispered. Averin entered right behind her. He, too, froze at the beautiful sight. "The Rivari resonance field," he said quietly. "But this is new." Sol looked at Luna, then took a few careful steps toward her. When he reached her, he gently pressed his forehead against her knee. The glow softened, then faded. Averin stepped forward slowly, respectful as always. "He is projecting emotional harmony," Averin explained. "Rivari only create such a field when they feel completely safe, and when they wish to communicate calmness." Luna blinked. "He wanted to comfort us?" "Yes," Averin said with a soft smile. "He feels your emotions as much as you feel his." Sol nudged Luna's hand with his nose, confirming it. A message of hope. Word of Sol's new ability spread quickly, and soon representatives from different human departments asked to meet Luna and Sol. They were amazed not only by the Rivari's gentle nature, but also by Luna's influence on him. One scientist whispered excitedly, "Human empathy might be more powerful than we ever realized." Another said, "This could reshape interspecies health science." Even journalists were curious, though the Vori limited outside attention to protect Sol and Luna from too much pressure. Meanwhile, Sol's healing continued. The little Rivari began showing signs of advanced understanding. He could now sense emotional tension in the room and respond with soft chirps or gentle movements to ease the atmosphere. Dr. Keaton tested this several times. When a researcher walked in feeling stressed, Sol approached the person, curled around their feet, and hummed in a calming tone. The researcher relaxed almost instantly. "It's amazing," Dr. Keaton said during one observation. "Sol responds not only to Luna, but to anyone feeling troubled." "Burkid, our rector," Averin nodded. "That is the gift of a matured Rivari. But his growth happened sooner because of Luna." Luna stroked Sol lovingly. "You're helping everyone now, Sol. I'm proud of you." Sol purred, pressing closer to her. Humanity steps forward. A few days later, the Vori announced something extraordinary. "We wish to form a cooperative research alliance with humanity," Averin told the human leaders. "Your emotional strength is a talent the galaxy needs. Together, we can learn more about the Rivari, and more about your species as well." Human leaders agreed with excitement. This alliance would bring peace, new discoveries, and a deeper understanding between the two species. But the most surprising part came when the Vori asked Luna to join the alliance. "We want Luna Hale to serve as the first official human-Rivari liaison," Averin said. "Her bond with Sol is proof of what humans are capable of. She will help guide future interactions between our species." Luna felt her heart skip a beat. "Me? But I'm only a student." "You are much more than that," Averin said warmly. "You are the one Sol chose. The galaxy will remember that." Sol hopped into Luna's lap, as if agreeing, his tail curled in a happy pattern. Luna gently hugged him. "If Sol wants me to help, then I'll do my best." A future full of light. Weeks passed, and Luna began preparing for her new role. She studied Vori culture, learned advanced communication methods, and practiced emotional resonance training to better understand her connection with Sol. Saul stayed at her side the entire time. He watched her, supported her, and even encouraged her during moments of doubt by pressing his forehead gently against her hand. Together, they grew stronger. Together, they became symbols of unity. One evening, after a long day of training, Luna sat by the window overlooking the quiet research center garden. The sky above was filled with stars, glowing like sparks of hope. Saul climbed into her lap and curled up, humming softly. Luna stroked his fur and whispered, "Soul, do you think humans are really special?" Saul lifted his head and looked at her with warm golden eyes. He gave a soft chirp, the same gentle sound he made when he was comforting her. Luna smiled. "Maybe we are. Maybe we've always been, but we just didn't know it." A gentle breeze moved through the room. The stars outside seemed to shine a little brighter. Averin entered quietly, hands folded behind his back. "Luna," he said, "there is something you should hear." She looked up curiously. "What is it?" "The Vori Council has shared its final message. They believe that humanity has an emotional strength that may help many species in the galaxy, and they believe your bond with Sol is the beginning of a new era, an era of connection and understanding." Luna looked down at Sol, who gazed up at her with affection. "I didn't set out to change anything," Luna said softly. "I just wanted Sol to feel safe." Averin smiled. And that simple act changed everything. Sol pressed his forehead against Luna's hand, and for a moment, a small shimmer of silver light surrounded them, both calm, gentle, and beautiful. It was not a power of force, not a power of strength, but a power of connection. A power uniquely human. The HFY moment. Across the stars, news of the human-Ravari bond spread to other peaceful species. Many were astonished. Some were moved. Others were excited to meet the humans who carried such warmth inside them. Humanity had risen not through weapons, not through conquest, but through empathy, patience, and kindness. And at the center of this new beginning sat a human girl and her once sick Ravari, connected by a bond that neither science nor history had predicted. The future was bright, and humanity finally had shown the galaxy its true heart.